What's going on, guys? I just want to quickly recap Friday with the long here and just to kind of demonstrate some of the stuff that we do with the indicator suite and how everything works in conjunction with each other, right? A lot of indicators that people make, they're separate in the sense that they don't mesh well together and it creates a lot of clutter and things on the chart. So with this particular indicator suite, everything is designed to work together, and there's a framework overlaid on top of specific levels and timing windows. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Obviously for Friday, we've dropped 1,000 points, right? So we're not bearish at all. If it keeps dropping, it's just you got to kind of let it play out. It gets very dangerous trying to short after 1,000 point drop, right? You can only really be bullish without even going into market structure or anything like that. So obviously we're looking for longs coming into Friday, and we want to look for the phases of price around our trading windows. What does that mean? We're coming into the New York session. The equity open is 9:30, of course, right? So we want to specifically zone in right here. This candle right here is a 9:30 open. So what do I mean by focus on the phases of delivery right at this point in juncture, right? So let's go ahead and dive into it. Right here, this is, let me go ahead and fix this. So this is our Q1 uh, little quarter here. Without going into too much detail about the timing windows, but this is Q1. What do we expect in Q1? We expect either continuation or accumulation for the most part, right? We have accumulation. So what can we expect in Q2? This red block here. We already know to expect manipulation because we've had accumulation in Q1. Now, right at the equity open, the candle begins to pump higher. That is part of the manipulation, right? However, that's the side of manipulation we don't want to be on. We want to see manipulation lower. And if you simply wait for candle closures, I preach this a lot. A lot of people like to enter mid candle and then they get destroyed, not waiting for the actual candle to close because they have fear of missing an explosive move, right? So always wait for the candles to close so that it can tell you the entire story. It pushes up and then closes back in the range, right? So obviously we're not ready to enter, and that's exactly what you want to see. So first we have manipulation higher, which is perfect, right? Now we're waiting for price to push lower, and that's exactly what we get. Now, a lot of people won't have this on their chart. This is a very large SMT right here in real time. It's posting, it's actually forming in real time. You can actually see it. It begins in some of these previous candles, I believe. And now that you know you have the very large SMT, this is on the monthly cycle, right? Now you can understand this is part of the manipulation, right? At SMT at the end of a move, that is confirmation that the manipulation is over. So because we had manipulation to the upside first, we can already imagine in our minds that a Judas is coming. This move, this leg of price action is going to belong to a higher time frame Judas candle, right? So we push up, and then as soon as we push down, we know we have the SMT. What's our last ingredient? Displacement to the upside, right? So when are we going to expect that? In our Q3 window, as you can see, as soon as we tap into that window, and this is actually a golden timing window. I'm not going to get into the specifics of that, but this is the golden timing window where we expect distribution. And as soon as it crosses into that threshold, we get our displacement candle. This lime green candle, actually, it flips bullish here with displacement, and it's indicating that for you. So that is your entry. As soon as that candle closes, That is the fastest entry that anybody is probably going to get into this move. Otherwise, they're going to wait for confirmation. They're going to wait for further displacement. They're going to possibly wait for retests. We're entering in very quickly here. What do we also have here besides our timing window? Um, this is clearly showing you that it flipped bullish, right? And I also have embedded in here a regular stochastic. So the stochastic is also conducive for longs, and we have real bullish volume coming in right exactly where we expect it. That is the entry, and it taps back into the change in state of delivery off of the SMT there. That level plots as well for you. This stuff is all in real time, and you would have been able to capture that move, right? So we have the finishing of the manipulation because we have the SMT there. Now the last ingredient that we want, we know what we're looking for. We just need displacement. That is the significance of the color of the candles. It is showing you where the displacement is so that you can react quickly with the market. The market is going to move very quickly. You need to be able to react very quickly. I'm not putting these colors just to make the chart fancy. I'm putting these colors because it's for a purpose, right? Who's entering on that candle closure right there? Who? Show me anyone who had an execution there. Maybe if you drop down to the 1 minute or the 30-second, you could have possibly entered there. I'm not trading on that on such a lower time frame. I'm on like the 3 minute. So that's a very quick entry, right? Very precise. And what would how do I mean precise? The timing window, displacement, flips bullish, bullish volume coming in, everything comes in right there at that candle. You can enter. And with our levels, you already know we're targeting this level here, right? You're going to partial, obviously, in between, and boom, very nice trade. This is how we're taking down these very large trades. This is 400 points, right? And this is why you could slap on very low risk and you're still going to get a nice amount. You get your nice distribution right in that golden window and you're off to the races. Very beautiful setup, right? And with the indicators, it makes it so much easier to spot that, right? If I turned everything off, you would have no clue, right? You would be waiting for this entire V shape to occur. You'd be waiting for an inversion, or you'd wait for a candle closure up here. Then you're kind of waiting through this accumulation phase and then it pulls back, right? So late entry, you could possibly get taken out break even. I even saw on TikTok and some of the other social medias that people missed this entire move because they just couldn't get in. Obviously, people wait for a retest. It's not going to happen in this scenario. So they waited for the pullback and then they got stopped break even in here. And then not to mention our other Fox Hunt indicator, which is populating here. Stop at the low. Your entry is the top of the box here, right? And it even gives you the targets. So even if you miss this move, you got the continuation entry right off the level. Very beautiful. And again, in our distribution timing window, everything aligned with time at the level that we expect it to happen. And then we wait for the signal, the confirmation. Fox Hunt appears right where it's supposed to appear, right? And then it gives you your targets. You can potentially target these, or like I said, from this level, we're targeting the level above. So very beautiful trading setups. Just wanted to cover that and some of the things that we do here. And there's a lot more different setups that we do, but just a little insight. I know there's not much posted on the public side, but you know, I'm thinking about incorporating more just so you guys can kind of see it, unless you want to ask questions and then I can show you. But you know, there's a lot more to it, but hopefully this video makes things make sense and in perspective of some of the things that we're doing and how we're able to get these trades. right?